Good evening, everyone. Thank you for tuning in to Apocalypse Movies. It's Monday. It's not Sunday. It's Monday. So we're doing us a day late. Our Last of Us review. This is the finale. This is the last one. We had to push it to Monday because of the Oscars last night. A big day yesterday. You had Oscars. You had the selection Sunday for NCAA basketball. If you're an NCAA basketball fan, so there's a lot of stuff going on yesterday. We pushed this show because of the Oscars. If you tuned in to Apocalypse Movies or YouTube channel, you can watch it right now. The live stream of the Oscars. You can probably go back and watch that if you want to. It's a long show. But we had a lot of fun. So if you tuned into that, thank you very much. But yeah, we're here now to talk about the finale of The Last of Us on the series on HBO. My name is Keith Barnes. Here's my buddy Gio. Gio, how you doing this Monday evening?
I'm okay. I'm a little bit out of it, because Spring Forward also happened, and it's just
Right.
been a very long weekend for those of us who have to work. So,
Yes.
um, I'm trying to get all my gears in motion for this finale, and boy, was it crazy episode, man! Crazy
Yeah.
finish.
Yeah. Short. It is the shortest one, I think. Shortest
It's
episode,
one of the
43,
shorter ones, yeah.
something like that. Yeah. So I clicked on the episode titled what was it again? The light. What was it? Look
Uh,
for the light.
Look for the light, yeah.
Look for the light. Um, which was a slogan we were seeing in the very first episode. It was like spray painted around. It's kind of saying that people have in this world. Uh, but yeah, I saw the runtime and thought, huh, like that kind of threw me for a second. But this episode was very well paced. It just me with the runtime and like everything worked, and we'll get into it. Uh, but because it's so short, let's just get right into it. I mean, it opens. It's pretty intense opening. We've had a couple of those in this season of Last of Us, The Last of Us. But wow, I mean, we get pregnant woman, running through the woods, and of course, it's Ashley Johnson, who the actress who voices Ellie in the both of the games. And my daughter and I were watching this, and it was weird just hearing that. Like it was kind of freaky because like just if you close your eyes, it sounded like the game. Like it
Yeah.
sounded like like it was just weird. Like you're watching these are the cutscenes or like watching my daughters play the game. So it was pretty surreal to hear her. But she's running through the woods. She's pregnant. Um, right away, you realize what's happening. Okay, this is probably I had heard that she was playing her mother, Ellie's mother, so I knew what it was. But yeah, she's being chased. She runs into this big, crazy, abandoned house, seemingly abandoned. She walks in and says, "It's me. I'm here. Nobody's there." But she's going into labor. So we're seeing the birth of Ellie in the scene. What do you think about this opening so far?
It was unexpected, but really well done. I don't remember if this was part of the game or not.
No, it's not.
Yeah. So once again, this show is taking liberties with the source material.
Yeah,
Okay, taking some things out, putting some things in, and it's just I found it to be really effective. One
yeah,
that continues to add character depth, not just Ellie, but also Marlene as well.
yeah.
It just again, it's making smart decisions like that, and otherwise, what happens later in the episode is just it's pretty straightforward.
Right.
So I appreciated this. It strengthened the connection between Marlene and Ellie because she was so close to her mom. And I just think back to that first episode where Ellie's locked up in the room and Marlene is sitting down right beside her and just talking to her like not even like a prisoner or like a stranger, as if she had known her for so long or
Right.
has this deep history.
There was,
So
yeah, definitely a familiarity there. Um,
yeah.
yeah, and I remember we talked about that. I remember pointing that out. I remember asking my daughters about that too. Like, there's something because she seemed to hint at knowing what. Okay, what happens? Her mom, Anna, is her name. She's giving birth right as she's just decides to just she goes upstairs and start pushing. An infected comes in, attacks her. And as she's fighting off the infected, she has the knife, the switchblade that we see Ellie carrying. Uh, gives a whole lot more meaning to that knife that Ellie always carried, which is also really good. But yeah, she takes that, kills the infected that's attacking her, and during that process, Ellie came out. Which uh, sure. I mean,
Yeah, I do have some nitpicks with that whole sequence.
okay,
Okay, as I'm just like, okay, what is a pregnant mom doing out in the middle of the open by herself? Like, where
sure.
was nobody went with her,
Where
right? It
was
was just
Marlene? Right?
her,
Why was
right?
Marlene
No
would be there at all
fireflies,
times? Right.
nothing. Just
Right.
it's like Emily Blunt in The Quiet Place, just deciding, yeah, we're not gonna have John Krasinski or any kid, nobody. No, it's just gonna be me. And it's just that's a nitpick, okay? Who am I kidding? It was an effective opening, and
Right.
one that, looking back on the episode, I'm thankful that they added it.
Oh yeah, yeah, definitely, definitely. I had just heard too. That you mentioned obviously talk about that. Um, that there's a prequel comic apparently, a prequel comic, excuse me, uh,
Really?
yeah, about kind of more a little more about Ellie, her origin a little bit. That's set. I can't remember either right before the events of the game or uh, I'm not sure, but I know there was. I think someone hinted in it that it hints that her mom was a firefly. Uh, so and then seeing this episode, it definitely makes sense. Her
Yeah.
mom and Marlene were as they mentioned, childhood friends. They've known each other their whole lives. So, um, that's a great question though. Yeah, like why was she? Where was she coming from? Why was there an infected out there? Because I mean, they're in the
Right.
woods, in the middle of nowhere. From what we
Yeah.
understand, there's not a lot of infected in those areas, but whatever. Like you said, it works. Um, but yeah, she gives birth to Ellie, and then we see Marlene. Shout out to the great Merle Dandridge, who also is from the game, same actress from the game that does the voice. She shows up and sees that she's given birth. She also notices, oh no, we see that Anna's been bitten right on her leg. She insists that uh, she cut the umbilical cord, which I skipped over that. It's pretty gruesome, but she had to do it. But she cut the umbilical cord with the knife before she was attacked. Now we know that's probably not true necessarily. I mean,
No, she got bit,
she
and then
definitely
she cut right
got
after.
right after, yeah. Which I wonder if maybe she just didn't notice she was bitten, or I don't know. But yeah, I mean, that's not true. I don't think Marlene necessarily believed it either. Um, but she does promise to take care of the baby. Uh, so right away, if you again looping back to the first episode, we know that Marlene has always known who Ellie was. And also found it interesting because if you jump back to the episode with Riley, uh, Riley mentioned that she tried to get Ellie. She asked Marlene if Ellie could come with her to Atlanta, and Marlene said no.
Right.
Um, so I just
That's a good callback right there. Yeah,
yeah, yeah,
I didn't piece that together, but
right,
that's why
right.
we do this show.
No,
So,
absolutely, absolutely.
um,
But yeah,
yeah,
but right, she promises to take care of her, and then she's like, "Please kill me." And Marlene's like, "No, I don't want to do it." She asked her, "Hey, we've known each, found out they know each other their whole lives. Like, don't leave me like
yeah.
this." And she's starting to turn, and I really thought maybe she wasn't going to do it. Like, what do you think about this part of the opening?
You could definitely feel the conundrum.
Right,
She doesn't want to do it. She doesn't want to chance it. It's still early in the outbreak ish.
right.
Well, yeah. Because I
Probably,
mean, yeah. Actually, it would be early if we do the math from how old Ellie is to when
yeah,
that took place. So she doesn't know. She's trying not to let her personal feelings get in the way
right,
of it, hence why she is or becomes the leader of the Fireflies for that region.
right.
So it's it's decisions like that that really build the tension in the episode.
Yeah,
And you know, I I thought it worked.
yeah, definitely, definitely. It was like I said. I mean, the childhood friend, like, and this moment supposed to be a special moment. She just gave birth, and now it's such tragedy. Like now,
I mean, what was she
ah,
expecting? Again, it's an
yeah,
outbreak. She's out in the middle of nowhere. She hears a clicker or whoever, an infected, on her tail. It's like,
all right,
you're ruining this moment for me and my child.
yeah,
Huh. How
yeah, yeah,
dare
yeah.
I put myself in this position?
Hey, listen, listen.
Marlene's a terrible friend. Why would you let her? Oh, we're gonna meet you there. You and you're days, if not hours, away from giving
Right,
birth, and nah, we're just gonna meet you there.
right.
Like,
Yeah, that's 100%. Like this again. This should have been someone for at all times. Like you said,
yeah,
yeah, she's at a
yeah.
point where
I'm just being too critical, though. That's just me. I don't know. So
hey, you get to the point where you're going to give birth literally any day. Like you just be like, no, stay here, sit down, don't do anything, just relax.
right.
Having been around, obviously, I'm father of four. I know that they get pretty antsy at that point in pregnancy. They're ready for it to be over. So I get it. Like you kind
Yeah.
of want to get up and go for a walk or something. So, uh, but yeah, it's pretty tragic. She goes and then executes her, and then cut to Ellie, cut to present in the show. We're seeing Ellie kind of in a moment of reflection, sitting in the back of the truck. Joel's out doing some stuff. Ellie looks like it. Kind of. It seems like maybe some time has passed since what happened last episode. Like maybe I don't know, a few days, a week or so. I guess.
It has to be, considering where they are and how far they traveled to.
Right.
They were miles away from the hospital.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
time definitely
Probably
passed.
been like a week or so, maybe a couple of weeks. I don't know, but Ellie's still pretty. I don't want to say out of it, but she's kind of not
No, she's still pretty traumatized
there.
by, what had happened in the previous episode,
Yeah.
and this is a young lady who's, been through a lot in such a short time.
Right.
If it wasn't for if it's not the outbreak, it's the journey that she's been on with Joel.
Right.
And like it's all the raiders and stuff like that and the infected, but then the bonding with Joel and knowing
Yeah.
that, okay, this thing's gonna come to an end.
Right.
It has to, right?
That was exactly the feeling I got. It's like she's definitely traumatized by what happened, but that combined with like their mission is this journey they're on. It's almost over,
Yeah.
and there's kind of with the conversation that they have. There's a little sense of like, what are we? I mean, once this is over, what do we do? What do I do? Like this seemed to be this thing that's been like the reason I'm here. My whole life has been for this purpose, and we're about to go do it. And then like, what's going to happen next?
Although she could, what was she thinking about? Probably that, like what's next,
Yeah,
because like, I mean, some people will probably think like, oh, she was thinking about, what happened between Marlene and her mom. Like, she didn't know any of that.
I wonder if she even knew that. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. And she
Right,
probably never will, because Marlene is gone,
right.
unfortunately,
Yeah,
which I'm curious how she'll find out in season 2. Again, I haven't seen the cutscenes for season 2 yet. I have time, but yeah, that'll be something I'm interested in.
that's pretty dramatic too. I'll just give you a little hint there,
Mm,
uh, but yeah. Definitely Joel's seemingly in a kind of chipper mood, which we've not seen from him at all. He's like, "Hey, I found this game," you know, uh, Boggle. I think it was I never played
hmm
that. So he's talking to her about that. He's like, "Oh, hey, I saw a guitar in one of those. You wanted me to teach you how to play guitar," and she's just still kind of not really listening. So, uh, yeah, all that stuff. Like you said, everything's weighing on Ellie right now. He's trying to. He's you can see that he's really warmed up to her at this point. Like, and all the love. Like I love the conversation they have because you just even though they never say the words "I love you," but like it's there between the two of them, and
Right.
you can easily tell. And I love how he's just kind of talking about what we're going to do afterwards. And she tells him like, "Hey, whatever you want to do, you know, I'll follow you." You know, they make it to the hospital. Uh, Salt Lake City, right? That's where they were going, if I recall.
Right.
Right. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah. They took I-80. You saw
80. I
Reno.
noticed that. Yes. We picked that up.
we live in Northern California. I'm literally
Yes.
miles away from I-80. Like from
Same.
yeah.
Yeah. Interstate
Yeah.
80. Interstate 80 West, which we never see. For us, it's east.
Toward Reno. Yep.
Right. Towards Reno. Right. For us,
Yeah.
it's 80 east towards Reno. But yeah, that was cool to see.
But to your point there, like they certainly took their time. Maybe
Yeah.
Joel more than Ellie, you know,
Right.
because they have the nice moment with the giraffe, which straight out of the video game, like
Right. Directly from the
that
game.
was beautiful.
Yeah, that's cool.
They have a talk, they walk for a little bit, then Joel sits down, and then they have another talk, and it's just like,
Right.
man, he does not want to go through with this,
He's
and it's
trying to
so
stretch this out.
obvious.
Yeah. Yeah.
Meanwhile, Ellie she's accepted it, she's come this far.
Right.
I think what put her over the edge was what happened in the last episode.
Yeah.
It's like, it's so terrible. And yeah, Gordon, first off, how you doing, buddy? Thanks for stopping by. Our
Yes, that's right.
loyal
Our buddy
viewer
Gordon.
right here. I feel like we owe you something. Yeah, like again, that's another example of like just how far their relationship has come,
Yeah.
Like
Absolutely.
you think back to the early days of their traveling, it was really the reverse. Joel was the one like, what the hell am I doing? I'm doing this for Tess, but Tess ain't here.
Right.
And Ellie's the one trying to like, peel back the layers of that onion.
Right.
Now it's reverse.
That's exactly right. Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's exactly right. Like Joel's trying to get her to talk, and you think like after everything's happened to him as well, he doesn't quite have he's not really equipped to like ask her, "Are you?" He does say, "Are you okay?" But not really he doesn't know how to ask her like, "Hey, are you okay? Do you want to talk about it?" Or you know what I mean? Like, I wonder if she even really told him exactly what happened. I wonder if he even really knows. Because she seems like the type that she probably wouldn't have mentioned.
He probably figured she walked out of that place, blood on her face, just like, man, like, and then like Joel, I'm sure Joel has seen some things.
Yeah.
Either she was going to get killed, she was going to get raped, or she was going to get eaten. One of the three things was going to go down.
Yeah.
And he probably, in the time in between their travels from Silver Lake to Salt Lake City, he was probably beating himself up like, man, I should have been there for her.
Sure.
Sure. I made it just in time to see her walk out of that burning building. She was really taking care of me.
Right. And she had to save herself, and he probably is like, she shouldn't have had to do any of that. Like
she should not have had to do that. Yeah.
He would be beating himself up for that. Yeah.
He's now, I mean, he looked at her as, somebody who could be the key to a cure, which he didn't believe in at first.
Right.
To her being a kid.
Right.
To her being a resemblance of her daughter, of his daughter.
Maybe a cure for him.
Yeah, exactly. A cure for him to regain his humanity.
Right.
And you notice another example in this episode of how far he's come. He has no problem talking about his daughter.
Right.
At all.
Says her name and everything.
None. Says her name. Yeah. Anytime Ellie mentioned the daughter, he was, just having a normal conversation.
Right.
Yeah.
Which, he's probably never done at all.
Yeah.
Like this whole time. So maybe with his brother, but I doubt it. But yeah. So those walls have definitely come down. I think for both of them, but like I said, Ellie's still dealing with everything that just happened to her and everything that's coming.
His past made that choice he made. Yep. I agree. And then that story he says about like, he didn't miss, I missed.
Right.
I tried.
Right.
I tried to end my life, but I flinched.
Yeah,
You know.
and just that moment of just you can see kind of she's I don't know if she's surprised or I don't know, but I love how she just says, "Well, I'm glad you know that didn't that didn't work or whatever she said. I can't remember, but he says, "Me too." You know, and it's like, wow, they've really that's the moment of like them saying "I love you" without saying "I love
Oh
you."
yeah, especially the line about like time heals everything. Well, it wasn't
And
time.
he looks at her, yeah, says it wasn't time. And,
But
yeah,
and audiences will pick up on that. You don't need to spell it out, okay?
yeah,
So
yeah,
it's just I appreciated that, and then just it's those type of moments that like because you know what's coming, even if you haven't played the video game,
right,
okay, they're about to reach the end of their journey. If I haven't played the video game, I don't know what the heck is gonna happen, okay?
right,
But I just even though it's only been 9 episodes, like it's audiences they've become so invested into this story, into these characters, this duo right here that they know after this episode, okay, the season 2 is happening, but
yeah.
it's going to be a sort of a goodbye. I'll see
Something's
you
gonna change.
later in like a
Yeah,
year. It's like I don't want it to end. This show has become what what football fans, what Sundays are to football fans, and it's
yeah,
just that's literally what it is. This is a phenomenon right here.
right.
The Last of Us, the most talked about show. So,
And to your point, to your point about him wanting to stretch this out. I mean, he even says at one point, like, "Hey, we don't have to do this. We can go back
you go back to
uh,
Tommy, that
Tommy, and
town.
yeah, and just stay there." And you think maybe she kind of considers it for a second, but she's just like, "No, listen, everything we've been through, like everything, it could have been for nothing. Like we have
Yeah,
to
we got to go through with this, and then afterwards, I'll follow you wherever you.
wherever you want to go, right?"
And of
Which is
course,
amazing.
Joel learns because the patrol guys, and I was watching in the background. I was like, okay, they're having too much fun. I'm looking
Right.
in the background, like,
Same,
okay,
same.
is
This
there
moment is
a
too nice.
infected something? And then
Yeah.
I thought I saw someone. I was like, oh, yeah, there's somebody right there. What
Yep.
are they throwing a grenade? Is that
Right.
it? These two about to bite the dust? No.
It's a little bit out of focus, so you can't quite see. But
Mm-hmm.
yeah, you're right. You see
The
that. And
flashbang, bam.
here's the thing. Yeah,
Which
I think Gordon. Yes, that is in the game. I think most of the stuff from here on through to the end is in the game. Uh, so yeah, uh, Gordon's asking, is this part of the game? Part of why I'm trying to kill himself. I'm pretty sure it is.
see, I don't see. I think my StreamYard is acting up because like I don't see any of that.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
Okay.
no.
Mine's weird too. It's not showing any viewers, but obviously our buddy Gordon, John Boozer here. Gordon, I got to scold you for a second here. Okay. Says he would have been here. He admits he would have been here earlier, but you were listening to a certain point of view. Don't. Hey, come on. Now I know we're not usually on Mondays. Okay. Monday is their day, but you're here with us. Okay. Let me be a pop.
It's one of those things. It's like a lot of people yesterday, like, do I watch the Oscars or do I watch The Last of Us?
Right. Yeah, that's a good point.
Damn. Especially if you haven't played the game and you don't want to see spoilers, but you want to
Yes.
go on social media and see how people react to winners. And it's like, please don't, nothing Last of Us, nothing Last of Us.
Yeah, I
What?
know. I
That
know.
happened? You
Oh yeah.
kidding me?
Oh, I completely ignored all the social media. Even though I knew what was going to happen. Still, I didn't want to see anything. But,
Yeah.
so speaking of that, so they get attacked by someone. We realize we see Joel waking up in a room. It's Marlene and a couple of fireflies. So they made it. They finally made it. Of course, the first thing he asks is, "Where is she?" Marlene says she's being prepped for surgery.
Yep.
She reveals that man, they lost a bunch of people trying to get across country
Half her
themselves.
squad. Yep.
Yeah, yeah. So she's like amazed, like, how did you two do this?
How did you make it out of there?
Right, right.
Especially like if they would have had like a cup of coffee before she broke the news that she was Ellie was being prepped for surgery. Like, yeah, I went through some Raiders.
Right.
I went up against a bloater. Okay, I went to this town in this bitch because we can't cuss. Named Kathleen,
Right.
and her little cult tried to get at me, and
Whole
tried to
city,
kill
Kansas City
us.
was after us. Yeah.
The whole city was after us. I mean, I felt like I was on a set of World War Z, which
Yeah.
I think we debated a couple episodes ago. Is that canon? Like,
Yeah. Right. Yeah. Yeah.
um, but yeah, she's once again amazed and by like this guy, but then she quickly finds out that's not the Joel that she remembers.
Right.
You've grown an attachment to this kid. That's a huge problem.
Which is probably
Yeah.
shocking for her, seeing the Joel that she knew was like the Terminator or the Winter Soldier.
Right.
Uh,
Right.
and not only that, but she's see how cold that she again knowing who Ellie was, who Ellie was to her. Like she's just like, that's what are you doing? Like, come on, this is not.
Yeah.
Good. You got to think for her, Ellie. This was always the point of Ellie's existence. Yes, this is why she was so cold to Ellie all this time.
Yeah, it's her purpose, right?
Right.
Like she doesn't want to get any more attached because she knows that, this unfortunately this
Experiment.
person who I am so close to, dare I call her my niece,
Yeah.
is the answer, which she doesn't even know. They're not even certain. She says, I think the doctor. And again, I haven't read the cutscenes or seen the cutscenes for part 2 yet, so maybe I'm speculating here. So, but it's like that wasn't even a guarantee, and
Right.
maybe that was enough for Joel to be like,
No.
if he even was considering, like, no, definitely
Yeah.
not. We're not doing this right here. You can get somebody else.
Right.
And it leads to an action sequence of him just taking down everybody that wasn't flashy, but
Right.
you pair the music
Yeah.
with the way it was shot, and it's just like there's so much emotion behind it.
Yeah.
He's not John Wicking it. With John Wick, it's like it's all flashy, it's all
not as
style.
stylized.
It's a lot of style. With this one, it's so much substance because it's just it's what we expected in the previous episode with him wanting to like save her. Now he's like, I really got to save her.
Right.
These guys aren't kidding around. Marlene and her squad, they went this far. Who knows if she's still alive? So
yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. Well, she reveals that they're prepping for surgery. When Ellie was born, tells the whole thing about how Ellie was born, her mom was bitten. Kind of,
Yeah.
It reminded me of Blade. It's like the Blade origin story. Right?
Yeah, that's right.
Well, the movie version. Yeah. But
right.
Yeah. And yeah, she's had cordyceps in her whole life, and it's basically kind of just runs throughout her whole body, and they think they can like extract it. It kind of sounded like what? Well, I don't want to bring this up.
What?
It sort of sounded like what this vaccine is for this COVID vaccine, where you kind of train the DNA or whatever to recognize the vaccine, or the cells, or whatever it is, so that they can attack it. But that's it. Nope, never mind. I know that. That's all I want to say.
I don't know. I'm 3.5 shots in, and I'm
same.
I don't even. Anyways,
whatever. Yeah, whatever.
Yeah.
Whatever. Exactly.
So,
but
how'd you feel about the whole action sequence of him going through the stairwell, through the hospital? It's just like the video game, huh?
Oh well, straight out of the game, like that whole gameplay. I remember watching Charlize play it, and she did it. She did a good job. It's like it wasn't as hard as she I expected it to be like just armies of people coming through, and the game, it is similar to the way they shot this too. It's straight out of the game. Very good. Even with him getting the various weapons, and he gets the AK-47, and he gets the, I don't know if that's an AR or whatever. I have no idea. He gets another one. Then he gets a handgun and shoots some more guys, and just working his way through, trying to find.
For a while, he was doing the Deadpool thing where he's conserving bullets, like one shot, one kill, boom.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly.
But it's also a testament to his reputation.
Right, exactly.
As somebody to not be messed with.
Well, that's why she told her guys, like, look, take him out to the highway, give him the knife, Ellie's knife. It's like if he tries anything, shoot him right then and there. Yeah.
Which, and then later on, she turns around and is like, "No,
Right.
no, I'm
Right.
not
Right.
gonna
Right.
do that." It's just like you have the drop on him.
Exactly. A couple
What's the
times.
worst that's gonna happen? Ellie's gonna fall 3 feet.
Right.
She's knocked out. She ain't gonna feel it. She might wake up sore. She ain't even gonna wake. Anyways.
Yeah. Right. Exactly. But, yeah. But
Yeah,
he
but
finds
the doctors.
the operating room. Yeah. And this part is so in the game. I
Yeah.
gotta bring this up. You can do literally anything to these doctors to kill them. Like you just have to kill the doctor. If you don't, the whole army of guys come in and get you and kill you. Like so, because my daughter did what she did was she got to that point in the game and she just sat there and didn't do anything, and the people are all like, and if you just sit there long enough, just 10 Firefly guys come in and get you, and it's pretty crazy. So
I mean, I don't know. That's I don't know. That's weird.
yeah, that's a weird thing. But no, you immediately just shoot the doctor. You can. It's just funny because you can choose. It's a game, so you can choose various weapons. So you can
Yeah.
bow and arrow him. You can throw the Molotov cocktail and set him on fire.
No, I just like. Okay, so I was expecting the doctors to die, but I forgot that he straight up shot the surgeon point
Right.
blank. Right. Boom.
Yep. Immediately. Yeah.
I'm not gonna let you take her. Bam. Just
yeah. He just immediately exactly.
Don't mess with
that's
him,
what he did.
man.
And it's just like, well, and I thought to myself, like, he, even though you don't know, he still could be able to make a cure. And he shot the one guy who, I don't know if he's the one guy who could do it, but damn, now he just killed him. So either way, even if he was like they were able to subdue him, he killed the doctor. So
Yeah,
they can't do it anyway.
I mean, it's like the showrunners and producers said at the end of the episode, like this was a great example of like the dark side of love, and what love can lead you to do. I think about what Will Smith said at last year's Oscar. He's like, love will make you do crazy things.
Sure.
I'm like, yeah.
Yeah.
Look at Joel shooting up a hospital. Fireflies. These are supposed to be the good guys.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah, exactly. And he was on their team for a while.
For anybody who hasn't played the game, you're probably questioning, like, okay, I think it's beautiful that he's saving at this point, his daughter.
Yeah.
Sees her as daughter. But should he be?
Right.
Like, why do I feel conflicted in rooting for Joel to save Ellie?
Yeah.
This doesn't feel right.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then that gets further emphasized when Ellie is not given the reaction that Joel expected after, driving away.
Yeah.
Like, and then the whole walk towards I want to say Crystal Lake, but Jason, but it's a Silver Lake. Where they're Wyoming, right? Yeah, that hike.
Yeah.
And it's just like you think about the beginning of the episode. It's back to the beginning of the episode. Joel's like talking and being open and this and that, and Ellie's once again like still in that state. Like, okay, what happened?
She was under anesthesia, and again, it's probably been several days later. They got to drive from Salt Lake City back to Cheyenne. It's probably took a day or two.
Right.
That's not that far. Probably about a day. But yeah, she has no idea what happened. What happened to me? I mean, even she wakes up. She's like, she noticed she's in a gown.
Where are my clothes?
Like, where are my clothes?
Is Marlene hurt? Did anyone get hurt? What happened to Marlene?
And the story, the stuff he's telling her is just like, it's seemingly obvious lies. Like she knows.
Oh,
Something's not right.
and you know the filmmakers at the end, not the showrunners, they said, you know, like she's burying
Yeah,
that question.
right,
Even though she wants to bring it up, she refuses to let it go any further because of the connection she has with Joel.
right, right.
Which,
The
man,
one
I
person.
can't wait to see, man, where this goes.
Oh boy, yeah, it's yes. So yeah, that's the one, like they say, and I watched that too. Like the one person that she finally has learned to trust somebody, and once she doesn't want to believe that the one person that she now trusts in the world is lying to her.
Right.
And yeah, yeah. Because I think that she would have been ready to make the sacrifice. Um,
Yeah.
she felt like this
Or
is what her purpose was, and
yeah, it's what her purpose. Yeah, exactly. Although I don't know. You think if Marlene and sat her down and said, "This is what has to happen," would she go through with it still?
yeah,
You think
yeah,
she
you
would?
wonder.
I don't know.
I don't
Maybe.
know. I don't know. Well, and that's the thing that the choice was taken away from her. That's why she gets. Well, never mind.
Exactly. The choice was taken away. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah. Precisely.
and
But
I almost said something, but yeah,
but
uh,
man, all in
yes,
all, what an incredible first episode, or no, first season.
yeah.
First season, dude, like insane. Like I've when season 2 does, get close, and like I'd be very tempted to go back and rewatch this whole thing.
Oh, I'm definitely going to.
Binge watch it
Yeah,
all the way through.
absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah, 100%. Every episode, I've watched every episode at least twice.
Yeah.
Like I would, watch it for our show here, and then watch it again
Right.
at some point during the week. But
Right.
uh, yeah, I'm absolutely gonna go through and watch. I'm gonna play. I'm gonna replay the game. Replay.
Nice.
I'm trying to. Well, I'm gonna replay the first one, and I'm gonna play part two. I haven't actually played part two. Like I've mentioned several times, I've watched Sophia play it. But
Yeah. So while the live action Last of Us might end, I can't wait to jump into part 2.
yes,
And I probably have like 6 hours of cutscenes
it's
to
a lot.
watch.
Might be more. It's about twice as big as the first one, so it might be. It's gonna be a lot.
Hey,
Curious
I'm gonna
to-
take my time with it, man, because we got a while.
got a little ways to go. Yeah, we do.
Yeah.
We do. Unfortunately, our buddy, our friends, last night, our buddy Jacob Bartley did spoil what happens to Joel for Jake Berlin. If you guys are watching, you know those guys. Jake was not happy.
Wow.
Yeah.
Jake, let me know if you want me to spoil The Flash or Secret Wars for Jacob. Let me know, okay? I'll text him right
Yeah,
now.
it was an
He won't
accident, but yeah,
Yeah. Damn.
yeah. So let's get to a couple comments here real quick. Our buddy Gordon Post, I like that he left the nurses alive. Yeah, I agree. I mean, no reason to kill them. They weren't any threat to him at the moment. So, but I think in the game you can't kill them. You kill everybody in the room. But yeah, and then Gordon again. Marlene gets on Joel about not getting Ellie's choice about it, but she and the Fireflies were going to do the same thing. Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. And I wonder if that's why. And they had that argument, Joel and Marlene, but I think that's probably how he justified it to himself. So yeah. And then I mentioned in the behind the scenes thing, and we're going to wrap up here in a sec, but they do mention how he what did they say? It was really good. Like, but how like she knows that he's not telling the truth, and she just accepts it anyway. But I totally lost track of what I was going to say. But anyway, good ending. I love it. Oh, how debated it was, and I remember the debate.
Oh yeah.
Over that in the game, like for years, like there are a lot of people who didn't like that
right.
ending. There's a lot of people who don't like the ending.
It was such a controversy.
But you're right, because you get to the whole game is about trying to do this thing, and then you don't do the thing. A lot of people didn't like that, which I remember. Yeah. I thought it was great. I loved it. It's definitely a conundrum. So, that's the debate. Did Joel do the right thing? We don't know. Really quick, John Booz. our buddy here, felt Ellie sort of thought she might die as she was sort of in her head to Rat. Yeah. And then what she revealed to Joel at the end sort of made me think she had accepted it. Yeah, I agree with that.
Right.
That's why I think she. Well, I don't know if you're familiar with. Well, I don't want to spoil part 2, but all of that will come up. Let's just say in part 2.
Yeah.
Probably pretty early, so it's pretty early in the game. So yes, you're right. But it's very effective. Like I said, all that stuff, everything between the two of them is all performance. Like I said, all the love, all the fear, all the doubt, all the, and even that doubt was a shout out to Bella Ramsey. Like she just great face acting with her. Like you could just see the doubt in her face. Like it's just like, and I love the way it ends with her just saying, "Okay," and that's it.
Not convincing at all.
Right.
And you know what? It'll lead to just a lot of conversation happening between now and then.
Yeah.
So
100%.
Really effective.
Very, very. So great. Bravo. Start to finish. 9 for 9. This entire season. Not a single low moment for me in this entire series. And that's not to say, I mean, nothing's perfect, of course, but this is pretty close. Pretty close. It's very well done. Great storytelling. Great filmmaking.
Agreed.
Just it's top notch. This is storytelling at its finest. It's well done. Bravo, Neil Druckmann, everybody in charge. Rockstar Games? No, not Rockstar. What's it again?
Naughty Dog.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. So well done. I don't know. Any last thoughts?
I can't wait to go into Last of Us Part 2.
Right.
Excited to see Pedro Pascal and Bella Ramsey back, and see where this story goes. And I'm excited, man.
Yeah. There's a time jump ahead about 5 years or so. I think 5 or 6 years. I think she's like 19 when it picks up. So something like that. Part 2. So which I think is Bella Ramsey's actual age. So
okay.
So it'll be cool to see that. And man, we're gonna be right back. Hopefully, I don't know. They haven't announced a date or anything. I don't think for season 2, as far as I know. So, but we'll be back. We'll be there to cover it all. Hopefully, you guys will be there with us. Gordon, just one last comment. And I think if the Fireflies gave it a choice, they would have done it regardless of what he chose. Probably. John Booth. I have to keep my fingers from typing in The Last of Us Part 2 cinematics. Go ahead and watch John Booth. I mean, if you don't want to know, don't. But they've changed so much from the games in Part 1. Like, I don't think you'll spoil yourself too much. But if you don't want to know anything at all, I hear you. So, but thank you for joining us with this season of Last of Us and all these recap episodes. It was a lot of fun. We enjoyed the show. We'll definitely be back to cover season 2. Hopefully, you'll be back with us. Make sure you tune in to John Booth says I gave him permission, so he's doing it. Hey, it's up to you. It's on you at this point, John Booth. But we're gonna wrap it up here. Gio, follow him on Twitter. What's your Twitter thing?
Insider Gio.
Insider Gio. I almost said Gio 90. That was your old one. It's Insider Gio.
Yeah.
I'm at Keith Barnes 39. You can check us out on Apocalypse now every Tuesday, 7 p.m. 6 a.m. time. Talk about this and a bunch of other stuff. Probably recap the Oscars and a few other things. But that is it for our Last of Us recap show. My name is Keith Barnes from my buddy Gio. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.